nuts!
Vsauce, Sumito here. I know your name. Or at the very least, that you have a name. Because everybody has a name. You know my name because I said it at the beginning of this video. The sound emanated from my vocal cords through your computer speakers, reverberated in your ear canal in such a way that your brain was able to interpret that my name is Sumito. Scientists have found as many Sumitos in the introduction of this YouTube video as there are in the observable universe. But what is Obama's last name? In January 2009, the United States of America elected their 44th president, while simultaneously electing the first presidential paradox: the first president without a last name. Take, for instance, the word demi, which comes from medieval English to mean half or lesser than. This implies that American singer and songwriter Demi Lovato must only be half of a much more powerful singer and songwriter, Lovato. The strange circumstances surrounding Obama's last name don't end there. The presidential paradox also states that American actor Christian Bale, best known for playing Batman in the Dark Knight films, must have a brother named Atheist Bale. And yet he doesn't, therefore proving that God does exist. But of course, we all know this is a logical fallacy. However, think about Kate Upton, American model, and member of the royal family, Kate Middleton. Though scientists have researched for years and years, they have yet to find evidence of a Kate Downton. This is a phallicology. The suffix ito implies a smaller version of something, such as burrito, meaning small donkey, which means the YouTuber Sumito must be a much smaller version of some much larger thing known as the sumo. This is a phorological legality. In June of 2012, 7 and 9-year-old Ricky and Martin disappeared from their family's cottage while on vacation. While the ensuing police search lasted almost 6 weeks, it ultimately ended up with nothing, with the local police department chalking this up to yet another kidnapping by the local Slender Man. Now, the most disturbing thing to take away from this story is that while the police acknowledged the existence of a Slender Man, they completely ignored the implication of a thick woman. The story of young Ricky and Martin being kidnapped by Slender Man is based on a true story. Or is it cringe on a fake story? One fake story that is in fact cringe is how many users browse the internet, leaking their personal information all over due to a lack of a proper VPN. That's why today's episode is sponsored by private internet access. Hello there. My son was using my laptop, and I think he might have leaked some personal information on the web, and now I'm looking for internet security. Sure thing, man. Let's take a look. Wow, that is one unsecure PC. Are you even using private internet access? Private internet access? Isn't that one of those virtual private networks? I hear they log all of your data and they're overpriced. Also, could you please undo whatever my son did? My wife is going to be very mad. She's very concerned about our online privacy. Not private internet access. They have a strict no logging policy, which means on any of the 10 devices that you get with your subscription, on any platform, by the way, you'll be completely secure. And it's less than $3 a month with 3 months free if you use the link in my description. And if you still hate it after that, there's a full 30-day money-back guarantee. What do you think about that? All right, I appreciate that they have 20,000 servers in over 70 countries and 24/7 customer support. Can you please fix my computer? I can't let my wife find out I was watching VTubers. Private internet access, the only VPN. Seriously, you have no other option. Link in the description. Transition. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is an American politician best known for upholding her liberal views. But if she considers herself so liberal, then why is she so conservative with her feet pics? Curious.
Our immigration system is based...
Amazon recently released a fantastic animated adaptation of the comic book by the name Invincible. But if it's called Invincible, then why can I see it? Curious. In November of 1957, during the Great Space Race, Soviet Russia was able to send into orbit a spacecraft by the name of Sputnik 2. The unique thing about this spacecraft was the cargo. On board was a dog by the name of Laika, and Laika would soon become the first animal to orbit the Earth. And while it is impressive to learn that Soviet Russia was able to get a dog into space, it is still not as impressive as how China was able to get a shrimp to fry this rice. Curious. The existence of smooth jazz as a musical genre implies the existence of rough, violent jazz as a musical genre. And while I enjoy the idea of smashing brass instruments into each other, I would also prefer to believe that we live in a universe with as little jazz as possible. If you attend brunch at any American restaurant, you'll typically be offered bottomless mimosas. And as enjoyable as orange juice and champagne is, through multiple hours of research, I have yet to find topless mimosas, which I have to assume would be at least a little bit better. The killer whale implies the existence of less serious crimes committed by other whales, such as the petty theft whale or the jaywalking whale, though it is difficult to confirm the existence of these whales with just how quickly SeaWorld is killing them. An apartment building is just a building with a series of apartments on the inside. And yet they prefer to call it an apartment complex, despite the concept being relatively simple. They say you are what you eat, but I don't recall eating a bad segue.
Road work ahead? Yeah, I sure hope it does. Oh my god! Oh my god! What do we do? Oh my god!
Transition. The Fukushima disaster in Japan was such an ecological catastrophe that the cleanup had to be done by the elderly generations because that much radiation was basically guaranteed to give a person cancer, and they didn't want the youth contracting that kind of radiation poisoning. I don't know about the elderly in Japan, but I simply would have not gotten cancer. Rest in peace to your grandma, but I'm built different. According to a YouTube video I watched in 2019, there are over 100,000 vending machines per person in Japan alone. If that's true, why am I getting 0 matches on Tinder? I'm swiping right constantly. It's ridiculous. Rule 34 of the internet states that if it exists, then there must be porn of it. Therefore, the opposite must be true. If there is porn of it, then it must exist. Extrapolating from the fact that there is a SpongeBob SquarePants porn, which I have watched several times in research for this video, SpongeBob must be real.
Now you try. First get a jar. Patrick, that's a blue-eyes white dragon.
Yes.
I hope everybody at home stays curious enough to continue to learn these things about our universe. And let me leave you with one final hypothetical. If Vsauce is such a great YouTube channel, how come they haven't made a Vsauce 2?
Vsauce, Kevin here. You would not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies lit up the world as I fell asleep. Because they fill the open air and they leave teardrops everywhere. You'd think me rude, but I would just stand and stare. Look, Sumito thinks this is science, but it's actually just some lyrics to some Owl City song. I don't know. I don't know the song. I don't know that band. I'm old and I listen to death metal. And as always, thanks for watching.